Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the Seven Rivers Marine Tournament recap for stop number 2, Tackle Warehouse Invitational on Westpoint Lake, presented by MLF. And guys, this tournament kicked my butt. I've had 2 of the worst tournaments ever. One at Sam Rayburn. I got in the area where the fish were. I'm not a very good scoper. I could catch a lot of fish off the cypress knees, things like that. But when those big fat girls get out there and they just start floating, it's hard for me to target or to find out what's a carp. You know, there's just things I need to work on. So we're going to Westpoint Lake. We put that one behind us, get to Westpoint Lake. Winter pool, low, muddy. First thing I want to do is find some cleaner water. So that's what we did. We drove all around the lake. We found some cleaner water, and it was like in that Yellow Jacket Creek or marina area. I found a bunch of clean water that way. And when I say clean, I'm talking like 1.5 foot visibility, 2 foot. The other stuff, some of it was 6 inches. Guys are still catching them out of it. But I just wanted to look for some little cleaner water. So I find some cleaner water. Day number 1, it rained all day. I go catch a limit. I lose a 3.5 pounder, my 4th fish of the day, out of a brush pile, side of the boat. That just happens. And I lost another about 2 pounder on a trap, and that happens as well. So a little backstory is of what's happening at this lake. It seems like water's coming up, the crawdads are coming out. I got on a pretty good crank and bite, trap bite, Folks Custom Crankbait Red. Phenomenal. I got on a jig bite. They were pretty good. But as that water kind of came up in that clay, it kind of muddied those areas up, and I still could get bit, but they just weren't very big fish. So I started playing with my secondary pattern, which was a primary as well, not a secondary, but I had like a 1-2 punch for a primary. But I'd get into these big points and they'd have rocks coming out to the middle of the river channel, and then they'd have some brush on it. And I'm going to show you guys on the map here what I was targeting. Guys, I was doing the right thing, because 2nd place after the first day, 13th place after the first day, were in the area. And these guys have been fishing for a long time. I'm not going to say who they were, because they just absolutely catch them everywhere. And day number 1 had like 7 pounds. I lost my 3.5 pounder, which hurt because the weights were really tight. But that would have put me around with the 2 pounder, probably around 10, 11 pounds, which ain't huge, but it was a start. So day number 2, we're behind the 8 ball. Tons of rain came. I mean, it rained all day and it was cold. So first thing, I need to gamble. I need to call an audible. I've done this before and had some success. So all that fresh water coming in, I'm going to run to that fresh water and I'm going to see what's going on. I made that run up to some largemouth stuff, and yeah, it didn't pan out. So I run to my secondary, or my primary area where I would usually start, and I get in there and I catch a keeper right off the bat. Just 13-incher spot, no big deal. And I didn't get bit. So I'm going to show you the area I was fishing, and I am going to tell you guys, the guys in there was Kelly Jordan, and then I seen Alex Davis fishing the mouth, and Kelly Jordan was doing the same programs that I was on, but he was catching them. This is what's crazy is, I'm going to show you where the fish were setting up. I understand what they were doing. I understand what the water was doing, and that's the most frustrating part is, I understand it, but here's the thing, I just didn't catch them. Like, it is so sad. But watching Kelly catch them just tells me that I was in the right area, but I need more time on the water. I need to know what fish is catchable on that active target. You can't go out there and throw at everything. You need to know what's a bass, what's a carp, a catfish. You need to know these things, and unfortunately, only time on the water is going to give that to you. Old school techniques right now, 90% of the fisheries we're going to do not play. They will actually hurt you in a way, because you just need to find an area where the fish are at, and then put your trolling motor in the water and learn how to catch them using your forward facing sonar, a little minnow, a drop shot, shaky head, wacky worm, Nico, things like that, spinning rods. Guys, I went into this tournament and I had 2 bait casters on the deck. That is just not how I fish, but unfortunately, that's what I need to do. I know it is to become a better angler. I need to put time on the water and understand these active targets. So here we go, guys. Here's the map right here. This is Lawrence. This is just Navionics map. But you can see I covered this lake pretty good. I mean, 3 days of practice, sun up to sundown. I had some good fish up here. Water was already muddy. Up here, though, right here was takeoff, but right here is where the water got pretty clean, these areas here. And, man, they had a ton of fish on them, in them. So I want to show you First day of the tournament, I blast off, I cut through this bridge, I come all the way up here, and I get to this area right here. Now you can see the main river channel snakes right here. I always like that in the springtime, and a lot of the times because that main river channel holds a lot of life. It's the springtime these fish want to slide up. And this is kind of what I call, like, it's kind of a sneaky deal, but right here, one guy doing really good cracked him really good right there. And then as you can see, I got a school of fish I found here that they ended up moving back here. But these are the areas I'm looking for. This there drops out right to the main river. Here's a secondary channel, the little blue dot. It's like a creek channel. This right here is just a underwater rock point. The way the currents eroded this, and this is a steep drop. And you can see I spent a lot of time here, but I'd come here and I caught a limit pretty early the first day. Second day, I didn't come here right away, but I came back in later on today, caught one there. But right up here, you guys can see where these contour lines. Now, this is super important. These contours mean everything more than any other electronics ever. These are bass highways, and the bass follow these things in. This right here, I pulled up to it, I could see good fish in there. I lose one, I catch a keeper, and I can't get no more to bite. So I jump over here and I found a new piece of brush. Not new, but I just looking around, I found a piece of brush right here. Kelly Jordan wheels in, comes down here, posts up right here, catches two fish right out of it, right in front of me. I'm just sitting right here. I'm like, this is absolutely crazy. I can't get these fish to bite. So I come back out here to this spot. We're out here, and now these fish are just kind of low, just they're on bait, and I flip out there, I can't get them to bite, and I finally catch a couple keepers to get me my 3 keepers. But now I know I need to scramble. This area right here had some fish in it, but there was a guy on it and he would not leave, and I am not going to pressure anybody. So what I did is continue to run new water, guys. I had a couple areas where there was more brush and I really liked it. And right here, this is an area where I messed up right here. This is textbook. Right here's the main river channel. Right here's a big long point. Right here is a stump head. You got a stump head. This is a hard spot. Guys, I caught like 3 fish here the first day. It didn't help. I go there in tournament, I lose the first one on a drop shot. How do you lose them on a drop shot? That's 2 fish this tournament. I lost in a drop shot. One was 3-pounder, that one was a 2-pounder. That doesn't even get better. So I'm like, that's all right. You got bit, you lost a fish, but you got bites, right? So come over to here now. We come down to here, and this brush right here is just money. I mean, absolutely money. It is gnarly. I flip in there. Guess what happens? Flip in there, take first the position of the boat, wind's coming to me, active target. I get my target 60 foot, make a nice little cast with shaky head, watch it fall down, get the thunk, set the hook. She comes up to the top. Good fish, like the ones you need in this tournament. Comes all the way up to the top, and I noticed my line, when it jumped, my line didn't like come up with it. And I'm like, oh no. And it went back down, and she come up and jumped again, and she like wallered, and she came off. I mean, that is what it is. So I regroup, fire my bait back out there, fire it out there, let it fall to the bottom, thunk, set the hook. Got it. I felt it get wrapped around there. Big fish, pops my line. Guys, that is just fishing. And the main thing that I need to do, and I know, is more time on the water. I can't go to these events with just the tournament practice. Like, that is what I'm doing. So I get practice for tournaments, great. Even down there at Sam Rayburn, I got tournament practice. But when I come home, I'm back to the grind again. So I probably won't pick up a rod and reel until Kentucky Lake, and that kills me. I know it kills me because I'm not fishing. I need to understand how those fish are reacting to my bait on active target. I need to put more time on the water. When you fish more, you make adjustments faster, you see what's happening, and you catch more fish. Guys, it's just another tough derby. You have to commit. If there's anybody out there that is interested in being a professional angler, I am going to say this right now. You need to fish. Forget about everything. You need to go all in. If you don't fish, you are going to get your butt kicked. I am telling you 100%, because these guys do it for a living. Every guy I seen in my area fishes full time. I would catch 1 to 3 fish. That tells me it's not location, it's presentation. It's understanding what fish are set up right and how to present your lure in a fashion to where they're going to eat it. So I'm changing things, guys. We're going to do a couple bathrooms this month, and we're going to try to get on the water as much as we can. Even if it's brutally cold, we're going to try to get up on the water. I mean, I'm from Ohio, so a few places I'm thinking of, it's not even Lake Erie. I'm going to go to Alum Creek, where I know there's some deep water. I need to 100%. Smallmouth on active target are not the same like they southern largemouth on active target, fishing brush piles, things like that. You need to really work on those things, and that's what I'm going to do. To become a better angler, I'm going to pick my head up, I'm going to regroup. We're going to get this Seven Rivers Falcon cleaned up. We're going to get a wrap on it. We're going to get a lot of things moving in the right directions. It's just really, really tough, because a lot of guys are like, oh, you didn't catch him here, you didn't catch him there. No, it's my fault too. I found him, just didn't catch him. Guys, it is a hard pill to swallow. And I'm excited, though. I'm excited to get after the next one. I am super pumped up to see what this season holds. But I know we've got to make cuts on the next. I mean, we got to have some top 10s. There's no championship to worry about. There's no AOI. But my pride as an angler is out there. And I am fishing against some of the absolute best. And here's the crazy part. A lot of the people I'm fishing against, I've never even heard of them, and I've been a fan of the sport a super, super long time. The guys I was fishing around, though, they've been around for a long time, and they're still catching them, and they're adapting to the technology. So, guys, adapt to the technology. Spend time on the water. Understand what you're looking at. Is that a carp, a catfish, a school of crappie? I mean, big crappie will fool you like some spotted bass. I mean, I caught a 1 3/4 crappie. I swore it was a bass, like on a brush pile. Like, you can't tell, but the way it was set up, it should have gave me some clues, and I wasted my time, you know, and I should have been on down the road. But it is what it is. We learned a lot. We got a lot to learn, and I am very excited to get working even more on the active target, because of what I've learned and what I can do now is just, it's crazy, guys. So these guys that's been doing it for a long time and are catching them, they're going to continue to catch them, because it is that good. You just need to know what you're looking at. It is not that easy. The hardest part is getting that cast where you need it, like 40 foot, 60 foot. And when you're moving in the wind and things like that, now I see, and I knew why they put those crappie brakes on, but now I see why they do it even more. And those guys are pretty much straight up scopers. They're just scopers. But a few of the baits I did catch my fish on, you'll see it if you watched any of the live right here. A jig. Guys were catching them on jigs and brush piles. LBA baits, ditch pickle trailer. Kyle Weisenberger pours these little jig heads right here, a ball head jig head, and I put that skirt on right there, just a regular skirt. And then I was also catching them on just an all black shaky head. And then this is the one right here, 1/4 ounce, 3/8 ounce, little Demiki head with a little spark shad on it. Guys, Nico rig, keep it super simple. And go out there, and if you want to be a tournament angler in this day and age, I don't care if you're 50 years old, 60 years old, or 20 years old, and you want to get into fishing tournaments, and you got a boat, and you're ready to take the jump, get active target, get to work, understand what you're looking at, and go catch some fish. Guys, gals, this was a long one. This one really, really hurt me pretty bad. My confidence, it's just crazy to dream for something so long. You get there, I fished the NPFL. It was great too. I love it. But at the same time, you can only get your butt kicked for so long. And when you fish against guys that are fishing every day, I know guys left the event to go to the Toyota series at Kentucky Lake. And our next event is at Kentucky Lake. So guys, they work harder. They're catching them more. They work harder at it. It's just like the guy that takes all the foul shots at practices when no one else is looking wins, because that's what it takes. And unfortunately in fishing, you have to pay your way. People do not pay for you to fish these tournaments. I would say out of 150 guys, I would say maybe 15 of them, 20 at the most, don't have to worry about things like that. And that is crazy, crazy, crazy. There's just so many fishermen nowadays. Everybody needs a sponsor. People know people, and it's just crazy. It's really a crazy world we're living in. Honestly, in my opinion, I wish we would just get rid of active target and see what happens. Just maybe have active target for 3 events and then take it away for 3 of the events, just to see, you know, what would actually happen. I mean, I'm not saying I'd catch them even better, but I know when you don't have it on the boat and you're fishing, you fish a little bit different than when you have it on the boat. To this day, I don't know, after 2 years of using it, I don't think I could fish without it on my boat. It shows you so much stuff. So guys, gals, this is a long one, like I said, so I appreciate all the support, all the calls, texts. Keep your head up, but this one's a tough one, and I'm excited for Kentucky Lake. Stay tuned. Also, guys, if you're interested in a new boat, a Falcon or an Express boat, go to 7 Rivers Marine. They are giving $1,200 for entry fees if you buy an Express 19, an Express 21, or a Falcon bass boat. They're paying $1,200 in entry fees, any tournament trail of your choice. And then also they're throwing in Falcon rewards for the guys that buy the Falcon. So guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Like always, I appreciate all the support. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, follow, share, all that good stuff. It helps me out a bunch, and it just keeps me moving as an angler. You know, you guys' comments help me a ton. So guys, I love each and every one of you, and we got to get regrouped for Kentucky Lake and get this season turned around. Like I say, always, I hope this helps in some way, shape, or form. I hope you found a little piece of nugget in here that will help you become a better angler. But like I always say, I hope this helps. And until next time, good fishing. I'm out.